evening, everybody. This is Andrew McLaughlin with the National Truck Driving School, and I want to welcome everybody to our live Tuesday night webinar. Our special guest tonight is Brad with Carolina Cargo. How you doing tonight, Brad?
Hey, I'm very good, Andrew. Thanks so much for having me.
Excellent, excellent. And I want to introduce our host for this evening is Mr. Rob Nelson. And Rob has been here for a little bit over 37 years and has helped thousands of men and women get into the trucking industry. How you doing, Rob?
I'm doing great, Andrew. It's always a pleasure being here, of course,
Terrific, terrific. You're still not seeing my screen, though, are you?
No,
Now you are.
not at all.
How about now?
Just the plate with the school plate.
Okay. All right. Well, before we get started here tonight, let me just do some of the housekeeping.
Coming up.
Most of you will be watching the on your computers. Some of you on the laptops, others on the tablet. Some are even called in on the phone. We have some people that are. Brad, I'm going to move you to the other side. Let's see, pop in. It's not letting me move you, Brad. Okay, some of you are watching on your computers or on the phone, and others, you can see where there's a microphone or a phone, and it's orange tonight. We can open up those microphones just like this here. Like I just opened Brad's microphone, and he can talk, and then I can shut it off like that. It's no problem. Other things on here, I want you to see. I want to see everybody see the little hand. I'm going to ask everybody to click on the little hand. This lets us know that you can hear us okay. Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Thomas. Thank you, Brad. Thank you, Paul, Arthur, Meredith. Okay. Of course, I can put all the hands down in one quick sweep just like that. All right, terrific. So we got a lot of people on here tonight. We also have a questions box. If your microphone is not working, Steven, looks like Steven's microphone just came on. Hold on 1 second. Sorry about that. My neighbor was just returning a flashlight from the lights being out yesterday. Okay, so we got the question box. So if all the people that are online, if you have questions and you don't have a microphone or you don't want to talk in front of a lot of people, you're more than welcome to use the questions box. Rob and I, we use it as a chat box going back and forth as well. So tonight, I want to, before we get started with national training, I want to go right into Carolina Cargo. Carolina Cargo has been a partner here with us at National Training. It's been about 5 years, Brad? Maybe a little longer?
I think that's right, Andrew. It sure is.
Okay, and they are an excellent partner. They take a lot of students from us, and we sure do appreciate that. And they have a very interesting concept. So, Brad, I'm going to turn it over to you and let you kind of talk about Carolina.
Perfect, Andrew. Thank you so much again for letting me come on board. Rob, thanks for your leadership as well. Yeah, I mean, it's a privilege to be on the webinar and talk a little bit about Carolina Cargo, now known as CCFE, Carolina Cargo Freight Expeditors. We've been in business since the early 80s and early to mid 80s. And it's a single owner. Mr. Crowder was a cotton farmer, and he decided that he was going to buy a truck to haul his own cotton to the mill. And we would quit having to pay someone to do it. And what happened was, in the wintertime, when he wasn't growing cotton, he decided to use that truck to start moving a little bit of freight, realized he could make a little money at it, and started to grow. We kept buying trucks, and currently we have 186 trucks in our fleet. And we are a coast-to-coast company. We go from the East Coast to the West Coast, hauling dry hazardous tankers,
yeah,
doubles.
Excellent.
You know, a solid company to and from. Now, primarily, Andrew, we've been teams for, goodness, the inception of the company. But
breaking up in there.
About that.
A little bit.
And a lot of folks ask about the solo options, and we do have those, but still primarily we're a team operation coast to coast. Now, the thing that kind of sets us apart, Andrew, is we are a company, our owner, Jim, believes in second chances, which means if folks who want to get into this industry maybe had a few hiccups in their background and things that we've all made some crazy, silly decisions in our life, well, Jim's the kind of guy that believes that, he doesn't think that should define you for the rest of your life. So we are a company that will give you an opportunity to get out there and start a new career and have a new life, even if you've got something behind you. The windshield, his philosophy is the windshield is much larger than the rearview mirror, which means, we're only going forward, not backwards. And when you walk in the door for orientation, whatever was behind you gets to stay in the parking lot. You're not judged. In fact, we don't even discuss that when you get there. The bigger thing for us, Jim doesn't care what you've done. He really cares about what you're going to do. And we have some really awesome employees, great drivers, simply because, someone took a chance on them. And again, our team trucks, coast to coast, the difference also with us and other companies is we do not split miles. And to my knowledge, we're the only company that I'm aware of that does not do that, which means whatever that truck travels on a weekly basis, both drivers are paid total truck miles. Currently, average is about 6,200 miles. And, a few years ago, we kind of had a bad rap. We look us up online, you're going to see some good stuff, but you're also going to see some stuff that's not so flattering. And it turns out there was a time in our existence that we were the lowest paid company in the country. However, that has changed. As of about 9 months ago, we went from being the worst paid in the country to the highest paid in the country in relation to teams. I think the national average right now is about $472 for someone straight out of national training going to a company with a check. Our current weekly check is $844, so we're almost doubling that. And by 10 months of driving, the average paycheck for our drivers is $2,132. These are figures that I actually attained today in the office. So, the money's there. Home time's important to Jim. You run a trip, you get 3 days off, 2 trips, 4 days, 3 trips, 5 days. So home is a big deal. And again, we are no-touch freight. So that's kind of who we are. Andrew, it's kind of what we've evolved into. And, I just couldn't be proud of it.
I know for sure that is true. We had a student come back not very long ago. He was driving for you, but he came back to talk to a class. And, he showed them paychecks, $1,000, $1,100. Just very, very impressive. So that is terrific.
It certainly has. It's certainly gotten there. That's for sure.
Yep. And anytime you can go out and make, whether it's $800, $900, $1,000 a week, that's good money. And any way you look at it, that's good money. So that's pretty good. What are some of the companies that you guys work for?
As far as freight?
Yeah, customers. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, we our largest freight contract currently is Ross Clothing Stores. They have distribution centers throughout the United States. One of the largest is right here in our back door in Rock Hill, South Carolina. We haul Ross Clothing Store merchandise. We have a contract with Tupperware. We have a contract with Pepsi-Cola. We have a contract with an exhaust company. So, there's several things that we do haul, but again, nothing hazardous, tankers, doubles, anything of that nature. But generally, we just haul those things, dry goods to the West Coast and produce back from the West Coast. I don't know anybody that goes to California and comes back this way doesn't bring something.
Right. What kind of equipment you're running, Brad, up there? I see international here.
Right. The international, so that picture's a little bit old. Our current fleet is 2015, 16, and 17 Peterbilt, the 579s.
Wow.
We both have manual and automatics for those who are restricted. But the drivers that I've talked to, have told me that Peterbilt drives like a Cadillac. I mean,
I'm sure it does.
Kind of what most everybody's trying to work their way into. But the sleeper berths are really large. Most have refrigerators, microwaves. Some have TVs. But we have folks that literally just live in the trucks and do nothing but run. And it's got to be large enough to be comfortable because, if you're going to spend that much time in that thing, you want to make sure you got enough room for everything you need to do.
Yeah.
So when we talk about we know that the money is good. Talk about the benefits and when do they come into play?
Okay. The benefits, we have a full gamut of benefits, whether it be health, vision, dental, um, retirement. We have short, long-term disability. They come into play after 90 days of employment. So if your first day of orientation, would be today, then you're looking about the first of, October, November, December, for you to be able to benefit from the benefits package. So
very nice. And the no-touch freight, the satellite communication, fantastic. Um,
Let me ask you this, Brad, about when your freight comes in onto the East Coast where you're out at the Carolinas, uh, do you run down to the southern tier down here? Oh, much? I mean, do you bring freight down?
we actually do. In fact,
I was saying that because
like,
of a student from Florida, this way he could tie in with you guys much easier, that type of thing.
Right. I actually have two in my this week who are from Central Florida, and we are doing currently quite a few Los Angeles, California to Miami runs. So those are good runs, and so we do go down to the state of Florida, and then of course the bread and butter is going to be I-10, 20, and 40, from one half of the country to the other.
Yeah, that's nice driving there.
Right. Uh-huh.
All right. So what about tuition reimbursement, Brad?
Okay. What we offer as a company is the first year that a new student comes on board with us, a new employee, we're going to allow them $3,500 in cash reimbursement throughout the first year. And we also have another incentive plan that anyone that they personally were to recommend to us or refer to us and we hire them, they get $1,000 per referral as long as we hire that employee. So people ask all the time, do you have tuition reimbursement? I certainly do. Come on board, bring 5 or 6 of your friends.
Well, that's very good. We have a similar program called Great Grad Recruiter. Those are $500 referrals, so that's pretty neat. So there's a whole gamut of money that can be made right in recruiting.
There certainly is
between us, so that's pretty good. What else are we missing about Carolina cargo?
Well, like the biggest thing I say, we are no-touch freight, a lot of drop and hook, and we keep our drivers and our trucks, for the most part, down in the southern tier of the country, I-10, 20, and 40 for the most part. And so in the winter months, we're going to keep you out of the weather. We don't throw chains, that sort of thing. We want the trucks to move. And the biggest thing is we have tons of freight. We have lots and lots of miles to give the drivers. So the truck that's not moving doesn't, it's not making anyone money. And the biggest thing, we have safety bonuses, we have recruiting bonuses, we have safe driving bonuses. I mean, there's so much money drivers get each and every year. And our training is basically come to our orientation. It's 3 days here in Rock Hill. We supply the bus ticket. We'll take care of the hotel, feed you while you're here. You earn, $300 for those 3 days that you're here. You get in the truck with a trainer. You do 3 West Coast round trips. That's it. If all goes well, you go to your permanent truck at that point with your permanent partner. The biggest other thing about us is we have a single owner. His name's Jim Crowder. When you walk through our doors, you will meet Jim Crowder face to face. He opens the door every Monday morning, shakes every hand of every driver that comes in, and tells them personally how grateful he is that they're there, because we understand that drivers are the only ones that make us money, and they are the important factors to our equation. They're not expendable, and many companies have seemingly forgot that over time, but he looks you all in the face and tells you that he's glad you're there. And with our company, our motto is, where you're a name, not a number. No one has a driver number, everyone has a name, and you literally do become part of a family, and you'll feel that way. And we have some driver pages that you can go to and, on Facebook and talk to some of our current drivers, find out what they're saying, what they're feeling, and it's a great place to work. I mean, Andrew, my background. I was in medicine. I was a paramedic for 22 years. I got into this, but I had a lot of bosses in my career. But I've never worked for a man like Jim Crowder. He truly cares about his people. He cares about his company. And he cares about his drivers. And everybody from the garage from the security guy that checks you in when you come in from the load or when you leave, all the way up to Jim himself. Everybody embodies that philosophy, and that's why I really love working for this company.
Okay, great. Let's open up the phone lines. If you have a question for Brad, go ahead and put up your hand, or again, you could also go ahead and type your questions in. Okay, Paul is asking on his days off, can he take the truck home?
What it's going to depend on, Andrew, is where Paul and his
Partner would live. Yeah.
area. Sure. Otherwise, sometimes that can be a little bit tricky. But even in the worst of scenarios, especially if we're talking about Florida drivers, right beside us here, we're near the Charlotte, North Carolina area, just across the state line. Allegiant Airline flies here, and it flies to Central Florida. It flies to Orlando, flies to Tampa, St. Pete, flies to Fort Lauderdale. So when it comes to Florida, we can get you up here, and they fly as inexpensive as like $37. So we can get you here, relatively inexpensive. Amtrak, I just had a guy come in on Amtrak from Tampa yesterday. It cost $60 for that, and he loved it. Of course, they'll stand by a Greyhound, but if you and your partner live in the same area, the answer is yes to that question.
Okay, very good. Very good. Any other questions for Brad? Stephen, did you want to ask a question? You can just hit your microphone. We opened you up. Stephen Nelson? Not sure if it was Stephen's hand that went up or Thomas's hand. Okay. No questions, huh?
Answered very thoroughly most things. That's good.
Okay, here Paul's got another question here. He says he's retired military. Is there any military program?
We are actually actively working on a military program. And first, I'll say, Paul, thank you so much for your service. My oldest son is currently serving with the 25th Infantry in the Army, and he's currently in Hawaii. Tough gig. But
yeah.
I do thank you for your service, and we are currently working on those types of, a program just for the veterans. And I work very closely with the state of North.
Very good.
Get that done, and because we definitely need to recognize you guys for your service, because of your sacrifice is the reason we're free to do what we do today.
That's it. Thank you. All right. Any other questions? No other questions. Well, Brad, I want to thank you for coming on tonight and telling us all about Carolina Cargo. We're gonna mention you a little bit more throughout our presentation. And
I appreciate that very much. And again, Rob and Andrew, thank you so much for allowing me to be on. And guys, it would be a pleasure to put you guys to work, have you join our family, and let's go trucking and be safe doing it. Thanks so much, Andrew.
Thank you.
Brad. Thanks a lot.
Very good. Hey, Rob, let's talk a little bit about national training now and about the school, and then
sure.
We'll put the two of them together for them.
Sure, great. This is when we started back in '78 as proprietary post-secondary vocational education institution. And ever since then, of course, we've been always providing the strong curricula that Nationals had. The programs here emphasize the practical and the usable skills, and these have been blended with the relevant general education foundation. Education foundation in the trucking industry, and of course, what you learned over the 12, 14 years of schooling, of course. Caring environment with personal attention and close faculty-student interaction. We've always had that, Andrew, since the drivers there, and since our instructors are just, they're right there for them, not large classes, which is really something that we really love that, and they love that too. It's real personal attention. And of course, we have that open door admission policy, which is great.
Yeah. Rob, you talk about that today. We started a new class today, 8 brand new students.
That's what I'm saying. Look at a nice size. God, they got more time. They got all kinds of equipment out there, which we're going to show a little bit. Now, we're the Florida's oldest private truck driving school. Been here again since way back in '78. State-of-art training facility, no doubt about it. That 1.25 mile multi-lane highway, when you're going to see that in a few minutes, that is really something else. We graduated over 38,000 students in '78, and of course that shows something in right there, doesn't it, Andrew? 38
Absolutely,
students.
absolutely, Rob. That's a lot. That's a lot of students. Almost 1,000 students a year.
Yes.
And you know, why drive a truck for a living? I think you and me both hear this every day from almost everybody we talk to. You know, and we hear everything from, you know, I want to go out and see the country. I love to drive. You know, going through a divorce, gonna go out and clear out my head.
Yeah, all kinds of reasons.
All kinds of crazy things. The you know, the money, you know, money and the benefits is probably the biggest.
Right.
You know, during the recession and the depression, truck drivers didn't get laid off. They didn't have to work 2 and 3 jobs just to make their benefits. Okay. So in trucking, what you really have is job security. Okay. Never going to go away. And there's all different types of trucking that you can do. You can do local, you can do over the road, you could do regional, you could do dedicated. Okay. Yeah, you could do intermodal. Okay, then we can go to trailers, go to flatbeds, we go to tankers, intermodal,
Box, reefer.
oil, water trucks, things like that. So lots of different things to do in the trucking industry. And most of the people started out their trucking career in one of our trucks.
That's right. And, you know, and that's one of the things that we do have here, Andrew, many different types of trucks because the average student coming here really doesn't know what they're going to be driving or what type. A lot of them don't know what kind of industry, whether it's going to be over the road, local, regional. We have them all. Availability is there for them. And we just want to show, for example, the left one there, that's a day cab. It doesn't have any sleeper in the back. The next two are going to be what we call, they're the conventional condos, the conventional sleepers rather. And the last two are the conventional condos, just like Brad was running there up at Carolina Cargo because, you know, they're the extra, they're running coast to coast. So we've got them all, even cab overs. And they're all set up with sleepers, not except that one. But the thing with it is it shows you exactly what goes on inside. And of course, you're going to be running also mostly, you're going to be doing standard shift, 9 and 10 speeds. But we're also got some brand new internationals there that are going to be the automatic. So we're not leaving anything out. And they're all 48, 50-foot trailers. You got everything at your disposal. And nice. You'll never run out of trucks at our school. We got plenty up.
Now, Rob, this is just a couple of pictures I picked out. So people, this is a typical work truck.
Sure is.
Right? You know, he's got the closets, he's got plenty of space, the bunk that pulls down,
Right.
the double bed. This folds into a double bed that goes down. Okay, very nice. Over on the other side there, he probably has a microwave or a refrigerator. Okay.
Well, you know, like Brad was saying, you know, Andrew, the Peterbilts, they actually have all of these things built in. You know, a lot of the work trucks have, you know, they have spaces for them, but they don't. They have the refrigerator, but they don't have the microwave, or they don't have, you know, the other things that go along. That's now this one here probably would be that would be that's a beautiful interior right there, Andrew.
Yeah. All leather, all of the air ride seats, both sides. You know, that seat also will turn all the way around.
Sure.
Well, this is just an owner-operator one that I found. I just think it's a cool looking picture.
Yeah, gotta be.
Stuff that they've done.
Looks like a rocket ship. Yeah, here's a typical work truck right here, Andrew. This is like you said, you turn around that second seat that he can come right around, do his work. That table pops out of the side there. If you look in underneath there, you see the drawers, work cabinets and so forth for all his supplies. And of course, TV, microwave, and the other side of the cab, you don't see it, be the refrigerator and assorted things that he has. And of course, that's a full-size bed. There's another pop-out on top that's going to come, you know, down, and it's easy to get to. So it gives you a chance to see how the tufted sides for sound retention are even there. So it gives you a chance to see exactly what the companies are doing. They're doing as much as they possibly can for the comfort zone of yourself, of course.
And again, here's another owner-operator truck. Look at that, wood floors.
Yeah.
But really, what I'm really pointing out in this picture, Rob, is right here, the tablet.
The tablet.
You know, he's doing all of his electronic logs right on his tablets, where a lot of the other companies, they'll have them built right in over here,
Right.
with a, you know, and things like that. So electronic logs today is so simple.
It's a commonplace anymore, Andrew. You know what I mean?
On the tablet or on the phone. Yeah. So lots of different driving jobs, over the road, regional, local, dedicated, lots of different things there. The Bureau of Labor Statistics, 2017, 2018, saying general freight trucking, the median wage, 43,520. Okay, and that's dead on pretty much what Brad was talking about. You know, and if you do it the way that they're telling you to do it, and a lot of people will get out of the trucking industry pretty quick because they want to do it their own way.
That's right.
These companies, they haven't figured out how you make the money. If you listen to them, you can make the money. So general freight trucking, 43,520, specialized trucking, 41,650, and wholesale trade, 40,330. In plain English, if you're making $700 to $1,000 a week, you're making pretty good money. Now, team drivers, okay, and remember, Carolina Cargo, they have solo positions, but where you're going to make the money is in the team. Team drivers can make anywhere from $100,000 to $150,000 for the team. So $75,000, $80,000 a piece.
Andrew, I just want to add this one thing that unfortunately we don't think about. How many schools that anybody can go to, I don't care what trade, 4 weeks of here and come out just like this fellow Brad said that he's showing, or he was up at school, $1,000 a week paycheck that he get.
And not really owing any money at all.
$52,000 a year gross. It's not net, but it's $52,000 a year. My God, 4 weeks. That's it.
And pretty much not owing anything because, you know, in this case, is going to get $3,500 tuition reimbursement.
Right, exactly.
Okay. Now, the school qualifications. We are a little bit higher. We're a little bit higher than the average.
Right. This is something that we like to know about. Of course, we want to make sure when you come out of school, you got something available for you, because these are the things that would hold you back if you did have anything outstanding in any of those areas. And we'll go through them if there's a problem, of course. And majority of them you can slide right through. They're not that much, as they were a few years ago, because there's such a demand for drivers at this time. Driving record, of course, is very important. Criminal background, well, that's kind of a little bit loose now. Brad could talk about that anytime. Theirs is very good on such if somebody has a problem. Physical abilities, of course, administer the drug screen. You'll get that here. All the companies are going to do that regardless, even if we do it here. So we want to make sure that that's important. We want to know that, your intensity to succeed is here at school, that you're going to do your very best to show the graduation that you're going to come out of school and you're going to succeed in what you're doing as an over-the-road tractor trailer driver. Are you employable? That's the thing. That's the three key words right there. Are you employable?
And I mean, Brad talked about being a second chance company, but you know what? We've been doing this a long time, Rob. I think they were the very first second chance company out there.
That's right, they were.
And then other companies are trying to jump into that, but the people that lead it, you've got to say something for those companies.
Yes.
All right, so 4 weeks at the school. Every day you're going to do pre-trip. Every single day that you're there, you're going to learn your pre-trip. You're going to go around that 1.25 mile private highway. You're going to work on the backing pad. You're going to learn how to parallel park and how to alley dock and how to do an offset. Offset right, offset back, left. Okay. Instructor's going to be up there in the cab with you day one. They're going to show you how to upshift, how to downshift. They're going to go over every gauge, and you'll be watching those gauges to know what you want your truck to do. And of course, the pearl of national training is that 1.25 mile private highway.
Sure is, Andrew. This highway is like nobody else has ever seen, and we've gone all over. We've never seen one like that, where actually you can drive just at regular speed without having any oncoming traffic in the first few days that you're here. We want to make sure that you really feel comfortable in the vehicle that you're pulling. You've got a 70-foot vehicle right there. We want to make sure that everything works well, and it's very easy. This is something you'll do before you get out to the highway. Over there where Andrew is with the pointer, you can see those are backing pads. You'll be backing in on the left side, which is the right. That's the good side, and the other side is your blind side. You'll be backing in just like you're backing into a warehouse. And we'll skip around over here. This is where we're going to do our hooking up and docking with the airlines, sliding fifth wheels, and so forth underneath the trailers. Over here, we're going to do the pre-tripping, making sure you understand all the benefits and knowing exactly what has to be done because you're going to be testing on these. This is where we're going to set up cones that are going to be about 70 feet in length, and you'll be backing them in. This guy's really a challenge. It's really fun. Everybody enjoys that, and you back straight through. Now, of course, over to the road time. Now, we're third-party testing. This is where you're going to get your license. Everything happens here. So it's the key ingredient is when your family knows that you're in a facility like that, they don't have the worries of worrying about before. What is he going to do before he gets out on the road? We're going to take care of that on our own roadway. So enjoy it. I hope you can make open house. That'll be the big thing. If you can get there. We're going to talk about that a little bit.
Right. Career services, job placement. I think, Rob, you were there in the very beginning. I guess we were probably open for 4 or 5 years before you started this. And it's the Graduate to Work program.
Yeah.
And
a little bit different. It was kind of difficult because companies didn't know too much about schools, so they were very suspicious. But once we started showing them what our graduates compared to the people that they even had working for them, we won them over. No problem.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, they do everything from, one-on-one counseling. Everybody's going to school for a different reason. Everybody wants to drive a different type of a truck, a different mission that they're going on. We have our own job boards, okay? And you can go right to our website and actually click on the jobs. You'll see our featured jobs, like Carolina Cargo is one of our featured companies. We know that that you're going to be treated right there. And then you can dig down onto the job. You can find out about the company, and then even find out about the person who's going to interview you. So it's 3 levels deep. Our job board. I don't know anybody else that actually has that.
No.
We get a lot of people from all over the country. I see there's people online tonight from South Carolina. I see people from Miami, from Pennsylvania, New York, and New Jersey. A lot of South Florida. Where do I stay? And the simple answer is pretty much you could stay anywhere you want. But if you're looking for the best rate, stay at the Green Coast Springs Inn. They got refrigerators, microwave, cable TV, HBO, free Wi-Fi, and they do it very inexpensively at $26 a night. So if you're there for 4 weeks, including the weekends, it's only $702. Okay. Now the cost, the fees, and the financing for the school, very simple. $64.95 for the program. So you got a company like Carolina Cargo, they're going to give you back $3,500 right in the first year. Okay, so there's a lot of things like that. Financing, if you have good credit, financing's not a problem. If you have bad credit, financing's not a problem. You get yourself a good cosigner, and we can work you through the financing plan. After all, we've been doing this for a very, very long year, and it's all good. We have it all. We have the companies and we have the jobs. We have the industry recognition. We have impeccable governmental relationships all over the country. We have guaranteed tuition financing for everyone. As long as you can get a job, we can finance you. We have over 38,000 graduates that possibly came here before you tonight. We have a program that's really fun to complete. But I think the best thing about us, Rob, is that awesome, awesome training facility.
Right, it is.
There's nothing like it anywhere else in the country. And of course, we appreciate all of our students from the Department of Veterans Affairs, our post 9/11 GI Bill, our forever GI Bill, and of course, we still have a few Montgomery GI Bill guys still out there. Department of Vocational Rehabilitation, VA Voc Rehab, and all the different state Voc Rehabs around the country, all of the different states across the company, their workforce programs, they send them here to national training. And of course, the Bureau of Indian Affairs, all the different tribes send their members to national training because they know they're getting value for the money. And national training is where the trucking companies come for new drivers. And tonight we had Carolina Cargo on. And I believe next week we have, I'll have to look that up real quick. Anybody have any questions? If you have any questions at all, please raise your hand. Okay, Paul wants to know Robbie said he had a DUI 10 years ago. Is that going to affect him?
No, not 10 years ago. No, not at all. No, you're safe. Most of them are 5 to 7 years, somewhere's in there.
Okay.
So you know you're fine.
And as long as it's just one.
Yeah, just one.
More than one, then we got to kind of talk about it.
No, it's fine.
Very good. All right, Paul, I hope that answers your question. Any other questions, please raise your hand. It's a very quiet group tonight, Rob.
Yeah, it really is, but maybe we're pretty good at it after a few years.
Okay, Snyder is not our next company. Our next company is going to be Comcar Industries.
Oh, Comcar. Okay.
No, I'm sorry. It's not Comcar. It's on the September 11th. It is Windy Hill Foliage.
Oh, Windy Hill. Oh, yeah.
Windy Hill Foliage. Yep. They'll be on next Tuesday, and then Comcar. Okay. Special announcements. We have an open house coming up on Saturday, September 15th. If you're anywhere 200 to 300 miles away, it's worth making the trip for the day.
Yes.
We start right at 9 o'clock. We'll have a couple of different trucking companies there. We're going to have a heavy equipment company there as well, because we do have a heavy equipment program: bulldozers, large excavators, large articulator loaders, tractor loader backhoes. We're going to let everybody who comes for either program get in a truck and go around the track and actually work a piece of heavy equipment out in the field.
Yeah, bring your family too, because they enjoy it. We put the kids in the car with the parents and so forth. It's really
yeah. And the kids go there and try to dig a hole with a backhoe. It's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Pretty fun. Okay. All right. I want to thank everybody for attending tonight. Brad, thank you for being here tonight. I really appreciate it. Rob, you always do a great job.
Thank you, Andrew. Always a pleasure.
All right, Rob. If anybody has any questions, please contact your representative or our admissions office first thing tomorrow. It's 1-800-488-7364. Your lost time is costing you big money. It's all good. Just make sure you call. Rob, tell everybody how to get out of the webinar tonight.
Oh, sure. This is just real easy, but just make sure you do it because you get stuck in here. That's number 2. Hit file and then drop it down. Hit exit, leave webinar right below it, and you're out. Okay? Great. Good having you. Hope you can make it next week. Thank you.
Anybody got questions? Karen, you still have a question? Karen? All right, Rob, we're clear.
Yeah, good deal. Okay. Yeah, which is pretty good. We made some pretty good time tonight. That was good.
Yeah. I gotta get more pictures. Next time we have Brad on, I want to get some better pictures.
Unfortunately,
their website was not so good.
Does he have pictures? Does he have a setup for that?
We had that PowerPoint that we had years ago.
Yeah.
But I don't like to show it because it's very out of date. But I got to get some new pictures from him, and I'll have my guys put it together for him.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. You know, his boss is a great old guy. He's probably a real Southern farmer. You know, a real farm boy.
Yeah. Yeah, and I do believe too that he does that. He stands there Monday morning and he shakes everybody's hand.
Oh yeah, sure. I believe that too.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah, I had a student up there a few years ago, Andrew. He just got out of prison. He was in the military prison. No, he wasn't in the military. He got out of the military, robbed 3 stores. 3 banks he robbed, and they worked with him. I guess a combination of military and he was such a great guy with a family and everything. His reasoning was he was just messed up his mind and he wanted to make money right away. Anyway, they accepted him.
Yeah, that's great.
And he worked there for a long time, and he had a family problem. He had to get out for a couple of months, and then he got that straightened out, and he asked if they could take him back, and they said, yeah, we'd love it. You did a great job here. We had no problem. And he went back in. I don't want to remember his name, of course, but I do remember I never saw anybody. 3 bank robberies? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I never heard. I remember I had the one guy that was a murderer.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Well,
And
actually, they say murderers are better than bank robber, guys with robberies, because usually a murderer is somebody that hates somebody. He's not going to bother anybody else,
this guy here, he caught his wife cheating with a guy in his car,
Oh,
and
Jesus.
he ended up shooting the guy.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
And then so he went away for 20 years. He still had the car. I mean, I tried to talk him out of it 2 or 3 times, and then he said no, he's going to do it. He landed up paying cash for the program. I met him like 3 years later.
Who did he go on with?
He actually went as a second seat driver with an owner operator.
Oh, good. All right.
But I met him just out of the blue at a McDonald's up on Caner Highway,
Uh-huh.
and I was sitting there with a student. He took my student outside. He probably spent an hour with him up in the truck, just showing him stuff.
Wow.
It was just a good guy.
Yeah, right. That's
Good
nice.
guy.
Yeah, that's nice. Well, I'm glad. See, there's some great stories out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
We can capture them, and use them. So, okay, so the 15th, I'm going to try to make it. I'll see, how I feel.
Okay.
I haven't been driving that much, Andrew. Just,
Well,
little,
if
I've been just,
I don't know if I could get down there and get back.
No, I don't want you to get down here. No, I'm not asking that. That isn't the thing.
I wouldn't mind doing it if I didn't have to do all the other work here.
Oh, of course. I understand that. Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe I can find somebody who'd like to go up to our school and drive
Yeah.
it up. I'll pay for his gas or something,
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. I don't know.
I
It just
would do that
depends.
too.
Yeah, it just depends. I made dinner tonight. I make
Good,
it every
nice.
night, of course. Yeah. I took, manwich. Do you like manwich?
Yeah.
I took that and I mixed it with some real good prime hamburger and cut up some onions. And instead of putting in bread, I made pasta and smeared it all over pasta. Oh, was that good?
Nice.
Isn't that good? Just for a different change.
Like a meat sauce.
Yeah, like a meat sauce, but it had a different flavor. Try that sometime. It's really good.
I will.
Okay, I'll talk to you
All right,
later.
Rob.
Take care of
Thank you.
yourself.
Good night.
Okay. Good night now.